are not the good ones. They're just the Delta 8.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, welcome to the Upstate Streamcast. We're live. Guys, the Upstate Streamcast is a collective of, well, I hope that we're not disconnected here. I keep getting a notification. Anyway, guys, the Upstate Streamcast, obviously you all know, but if you're listening, it's a show where we get together with TriFit Barbell, the nutrition store, the Upstate Coalition, and we bring in like-minded people in fitness in the community and talk about whatever's going on. Yeah. So joined today is not only Brian from MyoMuv, but his lunch. Brian,
didn't bring it up for all.
What do you have for us, man?
Mouth is full. I have some ground beef, 96.4 Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay. Trader Joe's, it's got to be organic, right?
So saving my fat calories with some frozen dumplings that I warmed up in the microwave.
That is culinary expertise.
So looking at about 35 carbs, 60 protein, and 12 fat.
Really? Wait, are we tracking here?
That's all I can lie, man.
I mean, 12. You said 60-40. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Wait,
how much protein today?
60.
60 grams protein?
But only 12 grams of fat.
Dumplings have 10.
You know that? That was 96.4.
Oh, he said 96.4. I'm sorry.
96.4.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I don't even think they make 60-40 beef. Where did I pull that from?
That's like why
My
Saute
brain.
the onions first in the beef.
Nice. Okay. All right. Gordon Ramsay. That's cool.
I can whip it up.
Oh man,
I like it.
What's that? If you could only do one diet type for the rest of your life, how often would you count your macros and why?
Whoa.
Because you can only count macros, right? There's no other.
Yeah.
You'd be basically doing every diet at that
Right.
point,
Well, the word diet is shitty anyway.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like a diet is implying a means to an end. Like you're going to stop the diet when you get to point. I prefer lifestyle or way of eating, phase of eating. You know,
I always use like nutrition store. Your nutrition, how you
nutritize
yourself.
Right. I mean, everybody's on a diet. I mean,
Exactly.
when you go into a clinical setting, the word diet means like, what have you consumed over the past 72 hours? Like, it doesn't even matter if you're yeah, so I don't like that word.
I agree, man. I think it's better.
really offended when someone says diet. I'm like,
Don't say that. You don't say the D word in here.
Right. Well, and that's like for the longest time, dude. Like with what we do at the store is we'll ask for 72-hour recall of what they've eaten, so we can look at it and help them better understand their own diet and like what they actually consume. For the longest time, you know, I struggled with like coaches who made meal plans because then these people would bring me their meal plans and have no comprehension of what they're putting in their body and how much. They're just following the meal plan.
Yeah.
But I had to like calm it down because I was pissing off some local people.
Dude, it's hard not to though. Like you get triggered. I've seen some ridiculous meal plans where it's not even like portion sizes, so there's no grams or anything. It's just like eat 2 chicken breasts. I'm like, that's so vague.
Yeah.
Chicken breast
What
can range
size chicken
from
breast?
this to this.
Uh-huh.
So I've seen some ridiculous ones, and it's really dangerous. It's like, so you're not keeping track of anything. These people have all the intent of losing weight, gaining muscle, and it's like, I'm so frustrated. I feel like I'm working so hard. And it's like, that is a shame. You are working so hard, but you've cornered yourself into a box because you just want to follow such a detailed plan.
Right.
And it just teaches us, we always got to be flexible and be willing to work with it. Like, even like our programming, right? PT, you got to be able to work around it. I've got some clients just like, but I don't have a safety bar. What do I do? I'm like, oh, you can use a regular bar. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we've said it since day one is we're like flexibility is key so that you can keep adhering to the program, whatever that program is.
Right.
So then the answer becomes create systems that fit to where you are in your moment in life, not trying to get you to kind of fit into these particular systems. So it's like you budget and manage for calories, nutrients, macro and micronutrients. You're going to stick to it a lot longer and get to eat foods that you like, right?
Absolutely.
But like to your point about like diet plans, right? Like if somebody needs that like step by step, then is it better to hand them? Like, you know, have you ever encountered a person like, I'm not going to do it unless I have the guideline. And then you can say, okay, well, they need all these micros. They need these macros,
and you build a meal plan,
and then you build them in. Is that good or bad?
I don't see it as a bad thing, but I also see it in more of like when I was coaching people, when I was doing the diet plan thing, like for bodybuilders especially, we can start out with a guideline, but beside that, like beside their foods, their macros are listed so that hopefully they get an understanding and a comprehension of what they're eating, and that it could be substituted for, if it's chicken, substitute it for lean beef, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good segue into education for people, but I never like to lock down the meal plan, because if you're basically the messiah at that point for them. Like, if the meal plan doesn't from this guy, I'm not going to follow. I can't do it.
Sure.
So that I like to teach more so, and that's what we take. You know, when I was onboarding clients back when I was doing the coaching thing, it would take probably a month for them to learn their BMR, their TDE, their basal metabolic needs, so that we can teach them. Because after my goal, and we were talking about this, the goal is to not rely on the coach or the physical therapist or the trainer. You want to be fit, like self-sustaining over time. So it's a process, I think. But
like all things in life.
Also, one quick thing, because I might pop into my brain. We were talking about this the other day, because one of my teammates at the store, he's competing soon, and he's been weighing his meat. And the common question of, do you weigh it before or do you weigh it after?
After.
Well, all right. So Chad Beefcake over here says after.
I'm going right after
because he wants the calories, but
I want the calories. And I want to get rid of the water.
Yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, the FDA does their measurements
before,
and it pisses me off, because I did, you do the measurement before versus after. It's like when you cook it after, your 8 ounces is like, like, what the hell is this? It's sad, but I've always told people with that, if you've been doing it one way, don't flip flop.
Right. I think the answer is it's consistency. It doesn't matter whether you do it before or after, as long as you do it the same way. Because at the end of the day, the numbers are arbitrary, right? They're just trying to show trends over the long term. And if you see they're going up or down, then you just add more or take away some. Right. So don't sweat it.
Keep track of it.
Calm down. Both of you guys. Okay?
Exactly. Well, I saw him start to break a little sweat.
I know,
like,
Chad.
Don't you
Chad was
take
like,
my
let's
calories
go.
from me.
I saw the shirt starting to rip.
What's that meme?
I had a patient the other day that came here pretty frequently, and she was like, "That guy at the front desk, is that all he does is eat?"
Yes, maybe.
Every time I walk in, he's eating. I'm like, "That's you. You got it right."
That is the key.
You don't see me when I'm not eating. That's right. Things get hostile quick. It's like missing pieces out of our phone pads and stuff.
Is hangry a real thing? I figure you might know something about that. Like,
I off top of my head, I know that it exists. I'm probably not in.
Is there like a hormonal imbalance?
Yeah,
like
most of that, from my experience, has to do with cortisol levels being balanced. So, because most of the time, cortisol is like the direct hormone that's very quick to fluctuate in the body. I mean, obviously, there's a shit ton of hormones we can talk about.
Sure.
Like when you're hungry, right? Ghrelin's secreted in the stomach, which does create a high stress environment. Cortisol increases. I could see that leading to like anger, but different people have different reactions. I mean, you have people who their insulin to glucagon ratios don't work properly, like hypoglycemic. They just shut down and get weak. Other people get a little aggressive, get angry because they're trying to get something to eat.
Okay.
Yeah, they fight for it. But I mean, it is a real thing. I don't know the exact physiological definition to explain it right here. I don't want to lie.
Sure.
Yeah, you see the way hanger works. Your stomach gets mad at you. Right?
Dare you?
You
don't need logic.
I know I'm from the supplement industry. I don't
know what you're talking about.
Well, for me, if I'm not constantly grazing, then I will binge eat, or I just won't hit what I need to for the day. So like the next day, my workout will suffer. That sucks, So I've been trying to like add in extra carbs immediately after the workout just to replenish everything, like chores and stuff like that. But in order to do that, I literally just have to continue to eat. There's never like a downtime. Or
what's your total calorie intake right now?
Just below 4,000.
Okay.
Like 38.
And are you maintaining? Are you gaining, losing?
Maintaining. Just sitting at like 240. I might try a little cut so that I can refeed right just before my competition. Drop like 5 pounds. I think would be helpful. But like right now, just maintain 240, and it's been a consistent every morning. I've weighed 110 kilos on the dot. Not fluctuating.
So I can never do intermittent fasting like that. I couldn't eat enough calories in one sitting.
Sure.
And I've even seen like Mark Bell's doing that, like eat all the protein in
He's
one
also
sitting.
does the carnivore diet, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, dude, I would literally blow up. I would pop. I'd be so full from having that many calories. Almost 4,000 calories in 1 minute. I don't know, maybe like one big chocolate cake or two. Just pour protein powder.
Gastrointestinal distress.
Oh,
I was going to say,
God almighty.
yeah.
That's pretty normal for me. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
Joe
my
doesn't
metabolism's
doesn't
like
eat
way up here, and I can't
Yeah.
figure out how to catch up to it. So,
Yeah.
I eat like for 4 people, and then I go home miserable, but then I feel I sleep really well.
That's right.
So-
So can't breathe.
I always say intermittent fasting is really just a tool. You know,
Oh yeah, 100%.
everybody labels
Yeah.
it as a diet, but it's
Yeah.
really an eating window. I mean,
Yeah.
and so for people who have trouble losing weight, I think it's really beneficial.
Mhm.
You're taking your caloric intake and you're condensing
Shrinking
it,
it
you
down,
know, and
yeah.
making it easier because 2,000 calories is a lot easier to consume in a 6-hour time period versus an 18-hour whatever and up,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
So I see that it's merit there, but I couldn't do it. I like to eat all
No,
day.
dude, my dad has done a 14-day fast before. My dad is
What?
absolutely insane. My father's just one of those people. If he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it.
Okay.
But he literally did. It was about this time last year. He went 14 days without food.
14 days without. What was he doing to
So
stay
just
alive?
water
Like,
and stuff like that. Water intake. I mean, he literally just that was it. I think he might have opened a couple small windows, but I think it was roughly like 2 weeks. Yeah, something absurd. He does this on a regular. He just likes to do like 3 to 7 day fast.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
And does he notice any benefits or anything? Does he?
You know, my dad's all about just trying. I don't
Just
know.
try
If he,
it out,
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be placebo effect, but you can ask him. He would love to tell you.
Yeah, he likes it.
Ryan sees him on a regular, so yeah, he's he's willing to
curious.
explore everything.
He's
Yeah,
curious,
yeah,
yeah.
just to see if it works. He'll be 60 in January, so I think he's just open to the suggestion that maybe we just don't know enough. And
Mhm.
I think it was Max that said it first to me. He was just like, just because the research isn't there doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah, and there is some interesting data on fasting.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
The problem with it is that, and from what I can see, is that people's conception of fasting is what intermittent fasting is, which is like no calories.
Right, right.
But you also have to realize, like, you drink coffee in the morning.
Mhm.
You're no longer in a fasted state. The enzymes in your stomach environment, your body is breaking down that caffeine, processing it into the stomach. You are no longer fasted. Your body is trying to reach the homeostasis that it was at. So, like, true fasting would be nothing but water.
Yeah.
You know. But I think Dr. Rhonda Patrick has really good information on this. She's been on the Joe Rogan podcast a few times.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it, but it
At least
seems
interesting to hear about.
I'm
it.
too hungry though to.
Oh no, I'm a
Yeah,
grazer too.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Regular training, I can't contemplate doing a heavy squat without food, in my body in the last 24 hours.
Oh, God,
that
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
miserable.
No, God, no. I don't think it would be optimal for any kind of athlete trying to achieve at their highest ability.
Wasn't it? There's some like UFC fighters. I remember this might have been years ago. They were like, I like working out when I'm hungry because that's when, like, if I were hungry, I'd go out and hunt an animal, sort of thing. I don't think that works. How
That sounds just like,
like
probably right around the
using
time
that
of break time.
hangriness to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
be mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
social
Like,
justification.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
sad.
God,
Yeah.
yeah.
30 pounds.
Yeah.
for
There would be
fat.
no benefit to that, would there?
Like, why would you drop so much weight for something you literally like bite it to the death?
Yeah,
It just blows my
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I'm not gonna drop weight for this.
Different breed of people, though, man.
I mean, dude, there's
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that
for
lose
sure.
50, 60 pounds to win a plastic trophy.
Let's
That's
that's right.
Bodybuilding. You know,
So we need Stephen Thompson to come out and
Yeah.
talk fighting.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What's your take on like cheat meals as opposed to cheat days? Have you
Oh.
guys ever had that discussion? Because I've actually had to talk to clients about that, where I do support the idea of cheat meals because at the end of the day, you're human. Like, you put a lot of effort in. If you're able to stick to your like typical regimen throughout the day, like when I say cheat meal, I don't mean like going out and have like a big smorgasbord.
It's more like
Like
a
more
free
eating,
meal.
yeah, like something that just to satisfy being like still. Again, still human, an emotional need for stuff like that. Like everyone has, I think everyone has an emotional attachment to food in some type of way, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Like sweet people, so salt people, anything like that. At the end of the day, so what is it that differentiates from a cheat meal if you have one like every day, as opposed to like you wait till like the binge eating on Saturday or something that people do?
Yeah, I think personally, as a coach, you need, like, you would want to monitor that very heavily because,
Sure.
dude, there's certain people who have predispositions to psychological, like, unhealthy habits with food.
Right.
Trigger food.
Right. And you don't want to like start developing that binge and purge kind of
Yeah.
pattern. I think a free meal is a great idea. As long as it's not like overkill.
Yeah.
Cheat day, I think that's more leaning towards the side of unhealthy. Like, I'm going to work hard all week because Saturday,
Yeah.
I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
I've always been a camp of like follow your plan through and then have a diet break. Maybe take a week and don't go crazy because hopefully the diet's not too restrictive, but this week I'm not going to track and overanalyze my
Yeah.
food, my weight. I'm just going to live.
Mhm.
I've always been in the camp of that, but it depends on the person and their life. So that's just my opinion, right?
Yeah,
For
sure.
sure. So it
Some
depends.
people say like the 80-20, like
That's what I like,
80%
yeah.
quality whole
Mhm.
foods, 20%. Hey,
Everything else.
if you've got
Yeah.
room for a couple Oreos at the end of the day, like
Mhm.
eat it.
Yeah.
You know?
You can,
But
yeah, you can sprinkle that 20% in throughout the week.
Right,
you cut
right,
the
yeah.
cravings. You kind of
Mhm.
get that little break from
Yeah.
all. And
I think a lot of times that's helped out a lot of the clients to like feel more like into what they're doing and get more in depth about, because they actually tend to push away from a lot of these cheat meals that they would have normally gone for, because they're seeing the benefits on being more structured and a healthier lifestyle, and they realize like, oh man, maybe eating those that many Oreos.
yeah, maybe it's not worth
it's
it.
Right.
I didn't really realize how bad I was doing before, So it's a good way to psychologically trick the brain in that type of sense. But again, like you said, you have to watch them because they could become.
Yeah, I mean, as long as if you're treating it as an education opportunity for them to understand, like, hey, I can eat this, and it's not going to kill me.
Right.
Like understand that it's protein, fats, and carbs, and it's just satisfying that need.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, man.
Yeah.
It just depends, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, if you're in a surplus, working with somebody who's trying to gain,
Go.
they don't need a cheat meal. I hope not.
Right.
But yeah, deficits, especially with people who are a long term.
That's like my favorite question. I'll get that once in a while because me and Gabby will work with a few athletes that are hard gainers, right?
Mhm.
I don't know how to get in extra calories. I'm like, you don't know?
Yeah, how do you not know?
Like, have you never had a
You're the
Snickers?
God.
And applesauce, like just add in just sugar wherever you can for the most part. I mean, obviously they have a certain protein goal and they don't want to fill up too much on their carbohydrates, but we've got one kid, I mean, he's 6,000 calories a day and he's still struggling to get up there. He's always been just thin.
Yeah, he needs
to have
like a GI.
Something, man. I mean, he is slowly
Something.
like over.
That's
We've been
true,
working
that's
with what for like 2 years now, so he is slowly trickling up, right? So we've kind of tapered back, but still at the beginning, he was just like, I don't understand how to eat more. And I'm like, I don't know how to help you with that.
Yeah.
Like, food is amazing,
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you over to Ben and Jerry. They can figure it out.
Those are my boys.
That's my boys.
You write up a prescription, dietitian referral.
Use my discount.
See, dude, I have these great friends that I always reference for things like this. They're actually 5 guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Burgers and fries.
That's a nice
Dude.
dude.
Yeah. They're great, man.
They
They
are.
always get my guys taken care of. But yeah. Well.
Now we're all just hungry.
Yeah. I got a question for all you guys. Okay, so we all get into fitness for some reason or another, right? Why? Like, what in particular for each of you, like, got you into where we are now? Like, what was the initial first? It could be a person, it could be an event, it could have been a sport, a coach. I mean, I could think of a lot of influential moments and people in my life, but I know my answer, but I'd love to hear why you guys are doing what you're doing, helping people.
Yeah.
Shall we go around the room?
Yeah.
No, man. My first inspiration as a younger kid was Bruce Lee.
Nice.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
I've always been a fan of martial arts and kung fu and
Big
stuff like
toy
that.
head, man. You got the abs.
But that was honestly the first thing I was like, man, that dude looks like immaculate. Like there's no like wrong. Like, he's like literally put a piece of paper of what the diagram of a muscle anatomy is, and it's him.
Yeah.
But he also was very structured with everything he did. Like I mean, to the T. Like self-discipline was amazing. But then he was also big on helping out back in his community.
Mhm.
Even though he left to go become this rich and famous, star, he still wanted to bring his ideology, like what he learned, to the States and help spread that to keep it from being like it's only this or this. Deal with that, So, and then also as the years got on, I was big on just trying to be as the next step of being stronger or faster, like any challenge that was there. Like I want to try that, see if I can do it, and just to check it off almost like a bucket list. So I guess for my fitness journey now from here on out is just what's the next thing I could actually like accomplish, not being the best at it, but more or less to say like, yeah, I did that, and it's not one of those like, well, I was there, but no, I did it, you know what I mean? Like I accomplished it. It may took me longer than most people, but I got there, so that's really what it came out for me is.
Yeah.
So
That's sick.
Love that.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Hell yeah.
Bastard. Dude. I mean, I know
That's
we're
my
probably
answer.
going to be on the
No,
same page,
yeah,
but
that's a big one for sure.
I mean, Goku literally taught us everything we need to know about fitness. Eat big, lift and train hard, and then sleep. And like, that's it. Dude. That's all you need.
Which I love Goku, but I identify.
Vegeta. I think everybody does, but Goku's there, and then
Yeah.
we relate to Vegeta.
Yes.
No, I mean that was probably like the nerdy stuff. Because I grew up just playing video games and watching anime, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I wanted to be like, I was like, dude, if I can just,
Stronger.
I just want to be stronger there. You know, like I want to train with people and like learn and grow. And that was, I think that kind of encapsulated kind of all that. So
stuff like the
pretty easy answer
ascending
for me.
levels always
Yeah,
seems
like
so cool.
always in the PR, like you're getting like
Yeah.
sweet.
It's like leveling up in a video game.
It's
You know,
100%.
it's like
Yeah.
your life's an RPG. You just got to play it.
Yes, exactly. Man.
I mean,
I'm just
Skyrim,
waiting
dude.
for sensitive beans or health potions,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Like
Skyrim,
that would
yeah.
Every time I
Like
make a sale, I'm
Terra
persuasion
Legend.
skills.
You need that armor now.
That's right. That's right. I was just working. My mage skills went up. You know.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
What are you, Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
Why are you so jacked?
Yeah, dude.
No, I think for me it was how does this correlate to being a better basketball player and having this curiosity of
So when are you gonna get good at basketball?
Oh, shit.
ask my man. I never did get good. So if you let me talk, I'll tell you. No, I think it's like just having this curiosity, and for me, this still is what drives me. It's like, hey, if I go into a gym, probably never be the biggest, strongest. I'm cool with that, but I can be the most curious. It's like, all right, I can be not necessarily more knowledgeable, you know, because I think you can learn from everybody, but I can be more curious than you. You know, it's like, how can I apply this to me personally or within my profession? So I think it started with just curiosity. It's like, how can I run faster, jump higher? How can I squeeze every bit of lemon that I juice out of this lemon that I can? And then once you realize, like, all right, your physical attributes can only take you so far. How can I work with people who are at the highest level? Like, how can I help them take this knowledge and curiosity and apply it to their individual game? And that obviously has reshaped and kind of been identified in different ways as I've grown in my profession. But I think, yeah, it's just really a curiosity. And two, like, I'll be honest, like, I got into my personal fitness journey out of insecurity. It's like you're weak, you're small, you're frail. Like, take this place that you feel really uncomfortable, which is make it feel the most comfortable. You know, like, how can you take this insecurity and make it more of a secure place that you like? So I think a lot of people honestly got into fitness, you know, because they're insecure about something, you know. I think if we're being honest with ourselves. So then the guy that I trained under was a huge Arnold fan, like I'm sure most people. So it's like you have indirect influences from the big Arnold encyclopedia.
Oh, yeah.
So
Everybody
I
has
think,
that.
I think that's my story. So yeah.
That's awesome. Love it. Yeah.
Oh.
You next, man. I'll be last.
Well, dude, I don't
stealing
lift.
all your
I
guys'
don't do the whole fitness thing. So I'm just kind of
You just kinda walked in this way.
No, but seriously, I was always a chubby kid, and I wasn't like really like had I not gotten into fitness, I'd probably just grow out of it. You know, like puberty hit, I probably would be just a normal dude now. But I was a chubby kid. A lot of my friends called me fat ass, and it was a joke. I wasn't fat. I just was the heavier one of the friend group. You know,
we're the chubbiest of the group.
Yeah,
We're the chubbiest.
right. So,
works like that.
but no, my dad got me a pull-up bar one summer, or actually 1 year for Christmas, and I really loved it. Like I was like, this thing's awesome. So like I made it a goal. Every time I'd go in and out of my room, I'd do pull-ups as many as I could. And it started out with 0 to 1, and then months later, I actually lost weight. And I was doing 10, 15.
Oh, great.
And then it got me into the gym. And then bodybuilding kind of became my like pinnacle. Muscular Development Magazine, Flex, Muscle and Fitness, all those that, and I was just like, I want to be like that one day. But at the same time, for me, I started getting into more of how these things work. And I think I became more infatuated, like you're saying, like curious. I was more infatuated with how muscles developed and how to do this than actually competing and being the big guy on stage. So that kind of like science kind of just became my thing. And that's what's kind of pushed me forward. Now my thing's business with the understanding of science, but so it led me to here. But how about you, Chad?
Kind of the same story, guys. Like I could nail it down to a day. Like I always enjoyed Dragon Ball Z, one of my favorite shows, right? I would jump on our trampoline all day. So I just like being active, but I was an extremely shy kid, like crippling shy. But for my 13th birthday, my dad got me Arnold's Encyclopedia and a Joe Weider bench set.
Nice.
Mostly because he knew if I didn't have some sort of outlet, I was going to be a destructive kid. It was going to be bad, right? So he gave me this and put me through an arm routine that first day. I literally couldn't scratch my own head, but I loved it. I went upstairs. I told my mom, like, I can't reach my face, like, but I loved every part of that, right? So that's just where it started, and immediately I identified that it was one of the few things that I had control over. You know, as a 13-year-old male, like, we have so little control. Puberty was hitting me hard, acne, hair where I didn't want it, was obsessed with girls, but they didn't want to talk to me. So there was so little that I had control over. So with fitness and just training in general, it's like, okay, I can do this because this is mine. Nobody else can give this to me or take it away. So it just kind of blossomed from there. And then sports and other coaches and other influences, Bruce Lee, I mean, the guy is a legend, you know. I think I read once he would purposely park like 3 miles away from his destination just so he could run there. So so people like that, it's always like, all right, how much further could I take it? And it's just grown from there. So
That's awesome.
Dad's the reason.
Dad.
You know, he's trying to push fasting on me, and I'm like, no.
It's my dad now. He's in his 50s. He's got a herniated disc. He's gonna have to get surgery on it. He's like, I'm telling you, son, all those heavy squats back in my day, you're gonna learn.
Let me talk to your dad.
That's the thing. He's you know, but he's also, dude. He went from bodybuilding when I was born to marathon running to cycling. He's like he's a beast. I got to give it to him. But he's just let this back issue go on for so long that, you know, they actually, the spinal doctor that was looking at his MRI was like, can you like urinate normally? Like, because this is right there in your lower lumbar where it's affecting nerve issues possibly. Wow. So they're going to have to get it fixed. But yeah, so he, you know, shout out Dad. Beast of a human. Yeah. So, but anyway, any other topics?
Thanks for sharing, guys.
I love the sharing.
Thanks, Jacob. Hi.
I've been addicted to curls since I was 17.
That's not a lot. Every day is arm day.
Every day is arm day.
It's like you ask me what today is. I'm like, legs. You see me in the corner.
I'm just warming up right now.
I swear, dude.
You need a walk meet over there.
Yeah, so Jacob had a relapse last week. So.
I got a question. It's a quick hitter.
Yeah.
You gonna do one exercise for the rest of your life? One exercise.
Easy.
I'll
start.
Go.
Nope. Me?
Go.
Bent over barbell rows.
Oh, deadlift.
Pull up.
Deadlift.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Dragonflies.
Oh,
dragonflies.
No
wonder you have 6-pack abs.
It's like one of the most difficult core like training exercises that you incorporate. You have to balance from beginning to end. Like there's different stages of it, so it's like you can learn from the very basic all the way to like the most advanced. And plus, you can use anything to use it as a different like base to work with. So.
Yeah.
But again, that's me. Like, what was my body capable of doing 20 years from now? Can I still do a dragonfly or something like that?
You see me at 60, just like hanging, pull up, backflip.
That would be amazing. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, and I've seen videos of like older guys who show up, like younger guys who are more they're more worried about being seen by the crowd. And the older guys are like, whatever, dude. Like, I used to do this when I was in my sleep. You kidding me?
Just like fighting gravity.
Yeah, you know. Right. So, but again, I mean, I feel like there's only so far that I could go with heavier lifting before I actually personally get bored with it.
Sure.
So it's just I try to, that's I mean it's not a bad thing, you know. But there's times when I've trained with you, I'm like I'm really getting tired of this, man. Like I can't how much my weight is now. Like I'm really getting sick and tired of going up and down, dude. It's terrible.
What did you pick?
Pull up.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like pull up.
I think it's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think the only reason I picked. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I find it interesting about posterior chain movements.
I just know the importance of maintaining that strength.
Yeah, right.
I would have said deadlift, but I'm just over here thinking like the versatility of a bent over row for me. Most of the time I do Pinlay style rows anyway, so I'm very horizontal with the ground.
Yep. Those are my favorite bent over row.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're never gonna see me doing like the bodybuilder stuff where they're like that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like a shrug. So
that's the most butchered exercise.
Yeah.
I really feel like it is.
Yeah. That's why I love seal rows too, because it forces people into the proper work.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many guys I see doing barbell rows at the gym, and it's like it looks like a slightly bent row or like a shrug. You know,
like they start out here, but each rep they finish right there.
And I'm over here thinking like if I get strong enough at bent over row, there could be deadlift carryover if I'm doing 315 on bent over rows, you know. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to do more than one exercise.
I think maybe it was you, or maybe we were talking about clean and jerk or snatch or something like that. Just like the definition of strength. That's why I just like deadlift. It's just like I picked that up.
I picked it up.
So simple, you know. It's just like
it's bar and
I
gravity.
can pick that up. Yeah. Or clean and jerk. It's like I can put that over my head. You know, like that is strength to me, which is cool. But Cool.
Well, anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in to the Upstate Strengthcast.
Yeah.
Catch us Mondays live here on Facebook, YouTube, and the Nutrition Stores page. Available on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of them. They just automatically go. And then also, guys, if you're in the area, if you're watching this or if you're listening, come out this Saturday to the Upstate Classic in Spartanburg, Saturday, September 21st. It's going to be a blast. So we appreciate y'all, and thanks for listening. And let's see. All these